Hi and welcome to my channel, The Stitchy Wife. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new. I'm Elizabeth, by the way, and this time I'm about to show you what my plans are for November. It's quite a big chunk of plans and I have absolutely no idea if I'm going to make all of it, but I thought why not think big and we'll see where it gets me. I've, for starters, decided to tackle one work in progress project every month at least. Hopefully, my hopes are that I maybe could do one each week. I'm planning on trying to make something to a work in progress every week and see how far it gets me. Most of the time I probably won't be able to finish it because then I won't be doing anything else. Since I have a pile with, when I last counted it, it was something between 30 and 40 projects. The sad thing now is that most of them are probably too big, so I won't be able to use them and try them on and fit them at all. And the reason I've left them in the work in progress pile is because I've had some fitting issues or something else that has been a problem or something was missing. But this month I will start off by finish this. Now it escaped me again. It was called the Separa Coat from Paper Cut Patterns, and it is called the Nova Coat now. I love it so far. It is in a wool knit fabric, a chunky wool knit you can say, from Tyglagret in Gothenburg. If you live anywhere near Gothenburg you would know what that fabric store is, because it's an amazing fabric store with lots of great dead stock fabrics from Denmark, among other places. And Yvonne, who owns the store, is an amazing person, and you just love going there. And she's been taking so much consideration for me since I'm very sensitive to infections and so on. So for the last years I've been allowed to come earlier before their opening hours and so on, or after the opening hours, to be able to be there and feel the fabrics. She do sell not online but through Instagram sometimes, and you can order there, but I don't know if you do international shipping, but I guess that if it were enough interest she would do it, I think. But her fabrics often, as soon as she publishes them on Instagram, 1 or 2 days later she's out of stock, so you have to be quick. But anyway, I did the long version of the Nova Coat, and I decided to put in some piping, self-made piping. I just took black bias tape and I had a small yarn piece that I put in between. And I decided to do this on this line here, this line, and on the back. I will show you more once it's finished. And I love that definition. It gives it a bit more definition, and that was what was missing. So that was a great addition. I was thinking about adding a zip, but I realized that this fabric is far too wobbly, and adding too much interfacing would make it stiff and wouldn't look like the rest of the fabric. So I decided against it. And I will use a little buckle that I found on Stoffostil the other day, that I think will work out great, because I want these lines to be as close together as possible without crossing, so you get that feeling when you have it on. I also decided to line it with regular lining. I've undernard about that, and that is one of the things that have taken time for me. But thanks to my sister, who often helps me when I'm doing like that, I decided to the regular lining, and I will do some kind of extra piece to wear when it's very cold outside and I need a thicker layer beneath. I would make something that fits especially for this to add as a layer beneath, almost as an extra lining. I have the possibility to not use it or use it when it's needed. So that is my first project this month. Second, I will keep on with my capsule wardrobe concept, and I will keep on with my module sewing. For those of you who already know the module sewing and where I got the idea and all that, please skip 3 or 4 minutes, because I still don't know how to do chapters and so on the videos. I will try and figure it out, and if I have, I will put a chapter where you can continue on, so you don't have to listen to this again. But for those of you who haven't heard it, I watch Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery a lot. She's one of my absolute biggest inspirations here on YouTube. And she always, since I discovered her, she talked about the concept of capsule wardrobes and module sewing, and sewing in modules. I think she got it all from Christy Russell, a stylist here on YouTube, but Whitney adapted it to sewing, and that is why I use that kind of concept too. And I also seen it with Whitney at Whit Makes, but I think she got it from the other Whitney. But those two are two of my absolute most, the persons I look most at on YouTube. Great channels, both of them, and I almost every time I link to them below. So this time the concept is that you sew one topper, that is a layering piece, either outerwear or some kind of thicker topper, that is. Then you sew 2 bottoms, that could be skirt or trousers, or yeah, whatever, shorts or whatever. And then 3 tops. And for this month I've decided to, and you see that the colors match the ones the modules you already sewn, and you have a basic color palette. I haven't found anywhere where I can put up the colors to use, and I would love to do color analysis someday, but the money isn't there yet, so that will have to wait. But I will try and keep on looking for some kind of color palette to use as a guideline every month. That would be way easier for me. But as it is now, I actually found a fabric that I will use as a topper this month, and I think it has a lot of the basic colors I want and like here, and it is this fabric. I love the pink, I love the denim blue and different pinks. The only thing is the brown, and well, the green is actually something I started to consider when I found this fabric. This is from my stash, but I know I bought it about 2 or maybe 3 years ago from, oh, what is it called? Forgot the name. The stitchybee.co.uk. Cheryl is the owner of that shop. It's an amazing website and an amazing fabric shop, online fabric shop. I bought a lot of fabrics there through the years, and she has an impeccable taste. She's amazing to find good quality. She is incredibly in her customer service, and yeah, just a very lovable person. She has her own YouTube channel, and I follow that too, but she hasn't published anything in a long time, so I hope she will get back to that, but we'll see. This is a viscose linen blend, I think 50-50, something like that. It's a bit thicker than your regular viscose, but I think it will be great as a true bias ogden cami. One of the patterns I like a lot, even though I still haven't quite figured out the right fit of the bands, the shoulder bands. And it sounds silly, but mine turn so short every time to make it fit under the arms and to fit the neckline. We will see this time if it's the same or if I can get it even better. I always start at the regular version where it's down here, but then the armholes are way too big, so I have to pull it up here, and it's starting to suit better. But we'll see how it works out this time. And I always have to, since my weight fluctuates a lot, and mostly downwards, unfortunately, nowadays. And so I cut out and I baste all my clothes first and try them on and see how it has changed since last time I sewed it. So that's what I'm going to do with this one too. So this is my base for this month. I will use fabrics that suits this fabric. And this is the Ogden cami from True Bias. I will go on to yet another pattern from True Bias, and that is the Nikko top. And this was a person on Instagram that the name has completely just flown away. It's gone. It's completely gone. I will write it down here. Just a few days ago she published a Nikko dress version and it was amazing. She gave me so much inspiration, and therefore I decided to do a Nikko top to try out the fit and do a dress for next month and use her as a big inspiration there. I saved the post, of course. And the fabric is a rib knit from Stoffostil. I don't know if they still have it. I bought it for my mom's funeral last year and I didn't use all of it, so I thought I would use the rest now. It's quite thin. I don't know if you can see me through it. I can see you, but I think it will be quite okay to do as a Nikko top. The third top will be a mandy bow tee from Tessuti Fabrics, a free pattern. I've done that pattern only once about 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't know why I didn't more. I will definitely try that one and see, and if not I will do a Maria Denmark kimono tee, another free pattern that is also great. I will show both of them here, but I think I would prefer having sleeves on this time of year, since this is a very thin slab jersey, they called it, on Minerva. I will try and see if I can find it there and publish it, since the lighting is terrible right now. There you can see it. It's a soft apricot, and that is completely off what I'm supposed to have and what I like. I think this fabric completely washes me out, to be true. I look like a dishcloth, I mean, and it does nothing for me, but I've decided to try and dye it, so I will try that and I will let you know how it goes. I will try and dye it in some kind of denim blue or something around that, and we will see how we go on. Otherwise I have to re-dye it to grey, because that is a color I always get correct in the nuances and so on. Over to the bottoms. I'm sorry if I sound a bit rushed, but I feel like I have a lot to show you, and my videos always get so long, and I fear that you think they are way too long to look at. Hopefully you have them as a company in your sewing room. That is how I do with most of my YouTube video watching, but if not, this will be a long one, and I'm sorry for that, but I have a lot of plans. And it's so much fun, and it's so much fun to be able to share with you now. This is my first planning, the first real planning video, and yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, so therefore it will take some time. I'm sorry. Back to the bottoms. I've actually ventured out again and tried something new. I've decided to try a midi skirt. I don't think I've owned a midi skirt actually all my life. I don't think so. I can't remember one anyway. And that is mainly because when I bought clothes, for a while I did that. I bought and sewed. I've sewn all my life, but I bought and sewed. Now I completely gone away from that and I only sew. But when I bought clothes, the one time I could get a midi skirt was when it was supposed to be a maxi skirt. And my tall and skinny legs always looked misplaced in the midi skirts, since it were supposed to be a maxi skirt. But and that made me think that that doesn't suit me. That kind of pattern doesn't suit me. But there were 2 women that reached out on Instagram here in Sweden and asked if there were anyone interested in sewing the Alixa skirt from Fibre. and we will do it together with Zoom calls once a week, and we will have we will write on Facebook what we thought about it, and thought about the process and the pros and cons and what we found, and if we for inspiration for each other and help each other. And it's been great fun, and I yet again done something I never done before, and it is so invigorating, and so it gives me something to look forward to. Just let it stay with that. That is probably the main thing with it. So the pattern wasn't the main thing with it, but on the other hand, I love that it is a new thing for me too, to explore and see if I like it. And I've done a wearable toile, but unfortunately it isn't that wearable, since I got the pleats wrong and I got the pockets wrong, and I now know what I'm not supposed to do when sewing with the correct fabric. But I love the feeling of the skirt, and that made me really happy, since that sounds like this could be good. And this is a bit thicker rayon crepe bought at stoffostil. You can see the drape here. Let's see if I can show you. It's dark blue, so I thought it would suit a lot. The only thing that doesn't quite work with it is dark black, so my Nikko top may not work with it, but we'll see if I can get over that hurdle and try black and blue together. I'm a bit against that, but that is all in my head, so we'll see. But you can see the drape is excellent on this, so I'm really looking forward to sewing that skirt. It has buttons, of course, all the way down. This is studs, but I don't know how I will do with this skirt, if I will do buttonholes. I think so, and real buttons. Wooden button maybe. I really like the look of that now. That is my first bottom. My second bottom is yet again Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery, is having a sew along of Itch to Stitch Mountainview pull-up pants, I think they're called. And here we have a pretty soft pointed aroma. I think I bought it maybe 2 years ago from a shop not far from here that doesn't mainly sell fabric, but once in a while get fabric in. And I got hold of this. It was a Danish fabric company that had come and sell the last bit they had, and you can see the drape of it. I think it would be excellent for trousers, and since it's not too thick and not too sturdy, but yet much more than a cotton jersey, for example. I hope it will work out fine. I haven't watched the sew along yet, so I will see what she says about the fabric choice, but I hope that will work. My topper for this module will be the True Bias again. You could almost think I would do a True Bias module this month, but I'm sorry, it wasn't planned. They suit each other, I think. This is a blanket from IKEA that I decided to, and I just had the name of the fabric in my head and it went away again. The fabric is extremely soft. It has some stretch to it. Not much, but some. I don't know about cuffs and so on, and the neckband. I will try it in this and see how I will get on, but if not, I have to figure something else out. We'll see about that, but I'm afraid it might look a bit homemade if I put some other cuffing around the neck and arm sleeves. So we'll see. I think I will have to work it out and use this fabric, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. But it's some kind of pink burgundy, between pink and burgundy. And I think it worked out great with these colors. This, for instance, it's amazing fit. And the grey trousers and the blue skirt, and yeah. And hopefully my mandy bow tee in another color. This is all for my module. Now for the rest. I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry. But I first off decided to do, I would actually say that this is part of the module, since I decided to sew one dress every month. I've forgotten to tell you what I'm wearing. It's the South Bank sweater dress. And thinking about that, that's why I said it now, was that I've discovered that I love wearing dresses, even in wintertime. I never thought I would do that. I only wore dresses in summer, and that wasn't much with that either. And I just decided to try it out, and I love it. This is definitely not the last of my South Bank sweater dresses. This is going to be a staple pattern in my wardrobe, as a lot of others have said before me. I will put a picture of me wearing it so you can see it a bit better. It's soft cotton cable knit, and the only problem is that it isn't warm enough actually. It's quite a thin cotton cable knit, and I've seen a lot of these cable knits, but I think they are much more polyester than this. This is pure cotton and a little bit of lycra in it, and it's so soft to the touch and to the skin, but as I said, not warm enough. But I could always make a slip and wear under it and so, and I will have to do that since I don't own any slips either. So that's another way to see it. And I think it would be great to have a slip for my other dresses too, like this one. This is going to be a Megan Nielsen sudley dress. I own that pattern too, and the fabric is from the, did I show you that before? Anything? No, I didn't. I visited a small yarn store not far from here, and she had some fabrics too on sale, and this is one of them. It works out great with, will work out great with my Marlo sweater, and you can see they are pink and burgundy and dark grey roses, and I really love them. I love that color and love the print, and I think it will be great as a sudley dress. I will have the keyhole in front. You could do either a dress or a shirt only, but I will definitely do the dress version. I have enough fabric, and this is a soft viscose crepe, so this is a great quality. The other extra project for me is influenced by, yet again, Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery. This was the third mentioning in my video, this time with Whitney. I hope that you someday may see this, because I am a real fan. I promise you, you are a great inspiration to me. But you had made the Itch to Stitch varzim, or varzim, I think, overalls, the newest pattern from its Itch to Stitch, and it sounded so great with an overall that was made of knits. So I just want to make it. This probably will take into December to make, but I will start them and we'll see how far I get. And I have two fabrics to choose from. The one is French terry in dyed blue. They were soft grey, very light grey actually before, and I dyed them blue, tealy blue, you can almost say, or black cord, stretch cord, very stretchy cord. I think you would call it a velour cord. It isn't a true cord. It is much too stretchy for that. It feels like a real true knit fabric. So I would say it's velour, or cotton velvet or something like that. Bought at Stoffostil. And that was also bought for my mother's funeral, but I didn't end up using anything for it. So I have that left, and I will try and get in contact with Itch to Stitch or Whitney and ask what they think about using that kind of fabric for the varzim. I'm a bit hesitant since when I looked at her version and the other tester versions, They used Ponte di Rome and but they didn't use anything as, this is quite thick to be stretch, and it's much stretch. So yeah, I'm a bit curious of what is the best fabric. I will let you know what it turned out to be, but I'm really excited about this project, since I don't own any. I don't even own any kind of jumpsuit, to be true. No, I don't. That is also a plan of mine, to do quite a few of jumpsuit during this winter, since I just realized I really like that kind. And I tried one on, but it was way too small in the store, short timing, and that made me realize that is another thing I'm going to try this year and see how I like it, and I think I'm going to love it. If you think of how I reacted to that one, we'll see. But another new thing to try out. Well, another labor of love, and a big one, will be a puffer coat. Yeah, you see, I have big plans for November, long plans, big plans, that it will take a lot of time. But this will definitely go on in December, and I will try and take you along with me if you want to. I've gotten in my email a mail from Rebecca Page, and I subscribe to credits there, so I get 1 credit each month, just like the theme work system. And I do that at Rebecca Page, and I really like her patterns. I've tried quite a few of them before, and now she's come out with a puffer coat pattern, and I decided, I looked for fabrics and I couldn't find one, since I want them a bit thicker than the ones that are out there. If you know anything, please let me know, because I really looked. I don't think there is anything as thick out there, but if you have, that would be way easier for me. I can't buy a coat, since the sleeve is always too short on store-boughts like that, and that is one of the main problems I have with jackets and coats. So I can't buy that ready to wear. They are simply too short, the sleeves. But I would love it if you know of any fabrics that I could use, because this is what's going to take me the most time, I think. I went to Jysk, a small version of our IKEA, and I bought a duvet cover that I am going to quilt. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy and like a terrible idea, and I can just see the fabric shifts all over the place. The fabric I bought to have on top is slippery, and it's lots of noises, because it's when you crinkle it, it's I don't know, it's very crisp fabric. I think it's some kind of treated ripstop nylon, some in that region anyway. And let me show you the duvet. Once it's finished, if it gets finished, it will be an amazing coat. That I know for sure, since it's this thick. You can see I just relax when I have it in my knee. But this is the fabric that I am going to quilt, and that is going to be, yeah, I'm not going to say the word here. It's going to be tough, very tough. I will try and film snippets of it so you can see and follow along. And if you don't want to miss any of that, please subscribe. It would make me so happy to have you along this journey, because I'm going to need a lot of advice, I'm going to need a lot of cheering on, and I'm going to need a lot of just go for it. Because I know myself, and I'm going to doubt myself a lot during this process. But I'm going to do it. I promised myself, and I'm going to try it at least. So that's the last selfish project. Now, even more for my husband. He came one day and we're about to run outside, and he was supposed to go for a run, simply, and he didn't have a sweater, since in his own word he thought that all the sweaters he owned was too thick, and mostly his sweaters are brushed sweater knits, sweater fabrics, not sweater knits. brushed sweater knits, and it's fleecy, brushed fleece on the inside, and that is hot. I agree with that. So I tried to find some kind of fabric that would work. Once again, if you have any ideas, please help me, because I think it's a terrible menswear pattern on Menswear Fabric. I don't say that men doesn't have the same fabric as us, but I, for one, have discovered quite a few differences that my husband would like that I haven't thought of as fabric to need, to be honest. One thing is this kind of fabric, a thinner sweatshirt fabric, and breathable sweatshirt fabric. And for one thing, he wants me to make him t-shirts, because it's quite broad shoulder and he has quite a tough time finding the correct size for t-shirts and so on, because he would need about double XL or triple XL, but that would drown him in the rest of the body. So I decided to make it my mission to sew things that suits him. But I need to find the fabric. I desperately need to find fabric that suits that kind of patterns. And this is a piqué, it said. And that was the translation when I searched it. So I hope you get what I mean. I will try and show you in different angles here, and you may be able to see something. I don't know. I'll try and take a picture and focus it too, maybe. It's a bit roughly on it's cotton and it's mechanical stretch. So there's no spandex or anything in it. But I will try and use it quite thin. I would say it's a thick t-shirt fabric. I will try and make a long sleeved t-shirt with this. And I have to draft the pattern myself, because there isn't any. They doesn't suit him at all. It's a lot of bunching back here, and I thought a t-shirt pattern can be too hard to draft. So I'm gonna give it a go, and if you want to, I would love to add some videos about that too here. That was actually one of my main things I was about to start a channel, because I thought that once I met Peter, he had so much issues with fitting clothes, and he looks very, very regular, so I can't imagine that he's the only one. But the broad shoulders for once made it very difficult to get nice looking t-shirts and just clothes. And I decided to sew for him and sew a complete wardrobe to him. Now my problem came between, and that has to go. I need clothes to wear on a daily basis, and he has clothes. So, but they aren't fitting that great, but mine didn't fit at all. So I had to I had to do something on my wardrobe before his. So this will come, a lot more menswear pattern, a lot more menswear sewing will be in the future on this channel. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to that, on that reason too. I'm starting to mumble, and I can feel that I don't find the English word, I don't find the Swedish word for the things I'm going to say even. I'm a bit tired. This is the third time of me recording this plans video, but both times before the camera died. So I hope this will work and this will be able to publish tonight. We'll see, or maybe tomorrow, if I'm out of luck. Well, that was a sweater for my husband, or a thin sweater t-shirt for my husband. Then finally, I have a friend who owns a fabric shop actually, and she is not sewing herself. She's sewing hats for the kids maybe, and small t-shirts, but that's all. And she's gained quite a bit of weight on the last, year maybe. And she finds that she would love a jacket, as everyone talks about nowadays. And she saw my Fairmount jacket and loved it when she saw it. And she asked me if I could think of sewing for her, partly because she wanted to use the fabric she has in her own shop, and partly because she doesn't like that all the patterns have dropped shoulders, and she feels so broad over the shoulders in that. And she's quite tall. I think she's almost as tall as me, and quite broad over the shoulders, as her shape is like that. And I can understand the feeling with this kind of fabric. It builds a lot at the top. So I will try and use the Paola workware jacket pattern to do this, and I will use the most amazing fabrics I found for this. It is, I wish, and at the same time I'm glad they're not in my color scheme, because I would love to have them, but they're a bit too expensive for me to. Let's see here. It is a teddy fabric, and first off we have one jacket that will be a complete, the whole jacket will be in this, and it is absolutely amazing. So soft, a bit thicker, and we will try and make this with buttons, what do you call it, buttons in front, pockets and sleeves and the collar. That is mainly it, but I just love this fabric. It's the true teddy bear fabric, and you just want to cuddle up in it. And the other one is, if possible, even more beautiful. That is maybe because it's blue in it. And you know me by now. And here she wants to do the same thing. She wants me to do the same thing as I did on my Fairmont jacket, as I have on the video beforehand. So I can put a card up here so you can see it if you want to. And she wants to put in dark blue sweatshirting fabric for the sleeves and for a hood that we're going to add, just as I did. And I think this will be amazing, and a zip up front. I think they will be beautiful, and I hope to be finishing them, well, next week at least. We'll see about it, but I hope I will get there. I'm so sorry for the dark video, but it felt like the sun didn't rise today. It's been grey, and if you live up in Scandinavia, you know that we have some of those days. Not all days. We could have amazing days in the fall where it's just the sun is shining and you don't want to get inside, but today hasn't been one of those days. Today has been grey, to summarize it. One more thing I want to show you is how far I've come on my knitting project that Teresa from Lost My Thread tricked me into. Thank you, Teresa, if you're looking. She actually commented on one of my videos, therefore I refer to her too. This is how far I come. I think it is about twice as much as last time. I think it will be a bit big, I'm afraid so. But this will be a true labor of love, and a true I just love making it, sitting in front of the telly at night when I'm too tired to sew and knitting, and that is amazing. I really like it. So hopefully I will get a bit further this month. I also decided to, well, it's so typical me not to stay in one project, but when I was at the yarn shop the other day and found the fabric I showed you for my dress, I also find a perfect yarn for a scarf for my coat I made last month, my octave coat. I need something around my neck since it is quite cold and it's quite open. That is the only negative thing with the octave coat from Love Notions, that it's quite open in the neck. But this will fix that, and I think I just will make a, the yarn is, what do you call it, Sirdal Bohemia, ultra super chunky. You need to use needles that are 20 millimeters. That is one of the thickest needles I've seen. In US it's size S, I think, US 36 or US S, and in UK it is 000. I hope that says something to you. US 36 it says. And underneath, no, it's the crochet hook is USS. Sorry. Well, I love the look of this. It's super chunky wool, as I said. And I think it will be great. I think I will probably do 11 or 12 stitches and then just knit as long as the yarn, as I have enough yarn, and we'll see where it takes me. Maybe I do an infinity scarf, or maybe I just do a scarf that goes around my neck and I can curl it up, so to speak. That was all, my friends. A long video, I know, and I'm sorry, and I will try and shorten it as much as I can when I edit it. But I will get it out there, and hopefully you will follow along with my plans. And I thank you for sticking with me so long and watching this video to the end. I'm so grateful for my subscribers, and I would love it if you haven't subscribed, if you would consider that, and if you would give it a like or comment below. That would mean so much to me. I hope to see you again soon, and I hope that you take care and have a great evening wherever you are, or day, if you're somewhere where the day just has started. Bye for now. Take care.